Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Gurureva Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Chinmayam Vyapiyat Sarvam Trailokyam Sacharacharam Tatpadam Darshitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Great people have said and demonstrated in their life, and therefore even today we remember them as great people. Sant Kabir has said, जब हम पैदा हुए जग हंसे हम रोए. It's a universal phenomena that when we are born crying. And in case you don't cry, you'll get a slap at your doctor will give you one pat so that you start crying. And when you cry, the moment your scream comes out, the world celebrates, oh, a child is born. So, jag hase hum roe. With these simple words and simple wisdom, aisi karni kar chalo, hum hase jag roe. Live your life in such a way, do those actions that you go fulfilled, smiling, laughing, and the world pines for you. Not that you make the world cry. That we do while living. Not the world becomes happier that you are gone because you made them cry. But the world cries for you. Simple message, but the more we reflect upon it, it signifies that what is the real purpose of life. We are here, we all know, to be happy. But real happiness can be gained when the people around you are happy. Is it not? If your family members are miserable, you try being happy. Yeah? If the world is at war, you try being at peace. No? Our happiness, if it does not spread to the people around us, then also our happiness gets limited or even stifled. तो ऐसी करनी कर चलो हम हंसे जग रोए. Those who recognize that there is more to life than just the day-to-day struggles, etc., they become inquirers, they become searchers. They are the ones who explore into the mystery of life as well as inquire, who am I? What am I here for? What is the purpose of my life? Now in university they're telling youngsters, find your purpose, find your purpose. And everybody's purpose is make money. What find purpose? That's why they get completely lost. And the question today is, they tell us to find our purpose, but we don't know our purpose. No? Because The quest is not for purpose. The quest is to have something in your life. But for those who start inquiring and find out, like Siddhartha, that is life as meaningless as produce, attain success, then lose it all, become old, decay, and then die off. Yeah? Build relationships, lose them, or lose them to death also. Yeah? Those who start inquiring as to what is the purpose of life? Why am I here? How can I make my life more meaningful, happier? They are the ones who seek the science of spirituality. The science of spirituality, especially in the land of Bharat, is so vast. Just now when I was coming in the car, I was listening to Guru Nanak Sahib's Japji Sahib. Yeah? Where pretty much throughout the whole Japji Sahib just goes on pointing out that life is vast. Its mysteries are vast. Its glories are vast. Its confusions are also vast. Yeah? So, in this vast universe, to find ourselves, find a place for ourself, find meaning in this world of change and uncertainty. In Kathopanishad, the little boy Nachiketa asks his father, should we live a life of mere compromise? You have made me confront death. Therefore, I want to know what is the purpose of life. But father says, I just didn't mean to say go to hell. No. He just got irritated. Father says, no, go die. But this boy says, let us not compromise with our word. Otherwise, beings are born like corns in the field, dry up, decay, and everybody becomes food for somebody else. Having got the human birth, and in this life not finding that fulfillment, and going through life and ending life in sheer misery, if that's the purpose of life, you come crying, you go crying. Then in between you jumped a little bit like a frog. Yeah? Menda ki tarah kootte raha. Today I got success, then bloom. What is the purpose of life? Those who inquired came to the spiritual path, but found that the spiritual path itself is so vast. Then we hear there's the path of knowledge. Then we hear there's a path of devotion. Then we say there's a path of yoga, hatha yoga. Then in that also there are so many branches. Then there are so many religions. But what is the essence of spiritual progress? If you want knowledge, if you want to be the lover of the universe, if you want mastery over your mind, for all these, the scriptures have been very, very clear that Jnana Yoga, to be fit for it, one cannot attain it without Karma Yoga. So whether you want renunciation, meditation, knowledge, Gita is very clear that without living in the spirit of Karma Yoga, one cannot attain knowledge It's only with knowledge the Supreme is discovered. And what is love? Like nowadays, children on Mummy's Day, Mother's Day, they say, Mom, you're the bestest mom, I love you. And when mother says, will you go down to the grocery and get some milk for him only? Can't you see I'm studying? What? You must listen to your mother. Matru devo bhava. Tell me. To say I love and I don't want to do anything for the person I love. As parents, you're anxious about the welfare of your children, and when you're anxious about someone's welfare, there is love in your heart. But love expresses itself when you respond. When you're ready to do something to remove the suffering of your beloved, when you're ready to do something for the well-being of your beloved. Otherwise, you have these people, oh, why is this person suffering so much? You don't add to that person's suffering. Do something to remove that suffering. That is love. Therefore, when Hanumanji met Ramchandraji for the first time, Sugriv told Hanumanji to go and find out who are these two handsome looking men. They walk, their gait is like prince. Right? But they are wearing matted hair. Are they ascetics? Or are they princes? Or are they in disguise? The terrorist of Brother Bali. And when Hanumanji went there, he inquired. He had gone in a disguise. And when we veil ourselves, the person in front of us is also veiled. When we cover ourselves, the other person is also covered by us. When you on your WhatsApp message want to not be noticed, you can't notice others also, is it not? Simple. So since he was veiled and he's asking, who are you? Ramchandraji doesn't reveal himself. But as Hanumanji's emotions and feelings and his knowledge is coming back, and he recognizes that my Guru had said that when you start getting such feeling towards someone, then he is your master, he is your Lord. And when Hanumanji begins to recognize, he says, "Oh Lord, I am in delusion. I, as an individual ego, as a jiva, I am in delusion. I did not recognize you. I could not figure you out. I did not recognize you, which means I did not realize you. I didn't have knowledge of you. Book knowledge he had. Guru's instruction he had. But I could not know you directly. But I am in delusion. I am in your Maya. But did you not recognize your sevak? Did you not recognize your servant?" And Bhagwan looked at that little brahmachari who had now taken the form of a vanar, an ape-like creature, picked him up, embraced him, and said some very important lines. He says, "So ananya jaake asi matina tarai hanumant मैं सेवक सचरा चर रूप स्वामी भगवंत." Bhagwan holds Hanuman and says, he is my inseparable devotee, or that devotee who loves me single-pointedly, at all times, at all places. It's not possible by sitting and doing Ram, 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 Ram alone. But there are times that you'll have to go and do other things. But one who never forgets that I am the servant of the Lord. Servant, we think something degrading. But I tell you, when you're government service servant, Sahab, when you are the ambassador of a large nation, you have more respect than the prime minister of some Timbuktu. Is it not? मैं सेवक सचराचर रूप Swami Bhagavant. I am the servant of the Lord. And who is my Lord? Whose form is this entire world, moving and unmoving world, is the form of my Lord. And therefore our mission pledge, the service of our country is the service of the Lord of Lords, and devotion to the people is devotion to the Supreme Self. So the title you said, no, service above self. That self is the small self. But service to reach the self. Even to discover your larger self, your infinite self, your complete self, your blissful self. All the scriptures have pointed out it is only possible by serving. Love is expressed through serving. I remember once, I just completed my Vedanta course in Bombay. In between, I had to come for my visa to Hong Kong. And at that time, one ladies group said, please come and tell us what is ashram life. Tell us what is Vedanta. What are you studying? And one lady came in quite late in the discourse, but listened to it, and seeing a very, very young person. And we were all young ones, right? I'm not saying now, but very young person talking. She told me, you come to my house. I've got 2 sons, they're teenagers. See, when they listen to a person who's young, they will have greater appeal. Please come to my house. Come for tea. I said, normally I don't drink tea. You don't drink tea? I said, your mother said you'll become dark. So she said, okay, come for coffee. I said, I don't drink coffee also. So she said, okay, come for some, snacks. I said, okay, I will come for your teenagers. So I went to the house. Of course, teenagers are teenagers. You call them to a stranger, hi. Now, they don't know why she is called. And the worst mistake parents say, before even they have met you, bonded with you, so that you can communicate with them, Brahmachariji, tell them. All the time they are watching television. They don't want to study. Indian parents is what else will they say? Only study, that's the only thing. And after studies, get married. That's the only thing they will ask, right? They're not studying. They're only watching television. Now, already, it's not that ice is broken, every chance is broken. They're only watching television most of the time. Now already they had an attitude, now the complete attitude. But I said, by the way, what shows do you watch on television? So they told me that they watch soccer. So of course, I was also young, I also knew a little bit about soccer. So I just told them, who's your favorite group and all that. And she's like, Tell them not to watch TV, and this brahmachari is telling them about TV and soccer and all that, And they're watching sports, they're not even watching some random program. Now, while I'm talking to them, so that at least you first create a bond, see what they are watching, why they are watching, etc. Meanwhile, father in that room, while you're having this dialogue with the children who have come now to understand what is long-term goal, short-term goal, etc., is watching TV horse races. The wife is shouting at him, can't you close the television? Can't you see? No. Brahmachari is talking to the children. Very reluctantly he goes outside. So what you demonstrate at home, no? Anyway, finally the whole conversation that went off on, finally they were quite responding, and youngsters are all intelligent, because they've not grown up to be adults. Because they're seeking. Adults, we already know everything, and it's useless. Everything is useless, So, they were understanding everything, and they clearly said that we do study, but our parents never are around to see us study. She said, they only study when I tell them to study, otherwise they don't study. So I said, then why don't you just sit at home and tell them to study? I have a life of my own. And that place, people only in the afternoon, their life entertainment is, not gambling also, but it's just, it is that. Because they can't play any sports either. So a little bit of exercise, because they don't do housework also there, So, and when you heard the mother say that I have a life of my own, and I'm not going to sit, that even if the children have to study, they have to study on their own, but I'm not ready to so-called sacrifice my life for the children. How does it sound to any one of you? It's not that she's not concerned about the children, and of course she's a loving mother. She has brought her children up well. But when you say that I don't have time, I am not going to do anything to say I love and not respond through action is not even love. So love expresses itself in service. For knowledge to get qualifications, you require service. And read the Bhagavad Gita. How many wonderful things, including meditation, is pointed out. But even in the chapter of meditation, Krishna says, only those who have served, they deserve. They are fit for it. And that is the glory of sevā. Guru Nanak Sahib says so beautifully, Jin sevya tin paya man. Not the worldly name or fame. That also one gets. But those who work only for that, today praise, tomorrow that people only will criticize. Today they vote, tomorrow they want to devote. Does it happen or not? But one who gets that which Hanumanji got. That Raghupati kini bahut badai. When Bhagwan only praises his devotee, then what to talk about? That kind of sevā. And our Gurudev, day and night, 24/7, literally 24 hours, but at least 20 hours you saw him. It was only for the people, but not a moment of dullness. Every moment was peace, joy, laughter, even those in his presence. And people used to ask him, such a huge mission, so many thousands of people bringing their problems to you, and all these things, raising funds, etc. How do you say it? He said, I only serve him to fulfill it is his work. And in service of a great person, the potential that comes out of you surprises you itself. The energy, the dynamism, etc. Therefore, never think that whenever you serve your family, whenever you serve your nation, whenever you serve the people, whenever you serve the organization or profession you work, whenever you're ready to work with an organization which is there in the service of the people, like Chinmaya Mission, always remember that sevā is the highest spiritual sadhana. Because without it, no other sadhana is meaningful. It cannot take place for me. We can bluff ourselves, go to a spa, put some music on, let all the raindrop music be there. And you're really at peace because there's nothing to do, nobody to bother you, till the bill comes. And then say everything is back to normal. Therefore Guru Nanak Sahib says, Jin sevya tin payaman. That service is a privilege given to us. And the more we serve, the more we grow. And therefore, the entire Bhagavad Gita, all the highest of meditation, the highest of knowledge, the acme of love, but basis of all that again and again you read. To serve with love is the basis of all spiritual sadhana and including success in the world. So since I was told to speak on the topic of sevā for half an hour, I have spoken. Now if you want to ask questions, you can ask.
Hari Om. Can we get this mic going?
And can you make the mic a little longer because yes.
Yeah. So you can come here if you have questions. Just line up, and then if you'd like the mic to be given to you, I can walk around and get it to you.
I have a question, Swamiji. I'm quite loud. I think everybody can hear me.
That's so wonderful.
Could you tell us some anecdotes or some things that you had with Guru Devji, please? Something that really brings us so much of love and thing for Guru Dev and for you too, Swamiji.
Each and every moment with him. Yeah. Was something to learn, something to know what love is, and to revel in the divine infinite bliss. But just to give you an example, I was with Pūjya Gurudev in 1993, which is the last year, 1 month before his Mahasamadhi. Great men and women don't die. So, Mahasamadhi. And at that time, his health was physical health was beginning to deteriorate. But when he came up on the stage, he was a roaring lion, Literally, we would bring him on the wheelchair, but we would bring him up to the lift, lifts in London are so small, because those buildings were mid-century, just like, Empire State Building, they still have lifts, but these buildings were not made for it. So they're very, very small. So he would get down from the lift, and as he strode into the hall, once he sat, he was a roaring lion. That whole year, many places I've traveled with him, and I saw his physical health deteriorating, but never his spirit, never his enthusiasm, that never ever. No? But physically, doctor had told him, your heart is functioning 15%. Technically, a person should be lying flat, waiting to be. But he would speak, and the doctor said not more than 20 minutes. But Swami Chinmaya give a discourse, people feel so, So finally they said, well, he is amazing, 1 hour, but not more than 1 hour, because it's a big strain. So in earlier places I saw that when he spoke for long and his heart, so I had gone up to him straight away and I told, Gurudev, next time you talk too much, can I tell you to stop? I had the audacity to go. Because he only said, today I spoke too much, because I could see that he was not feeling in one place. So he said, yes, you may, So I wrote that time, of course, emails also were not there, So we just wrote to everybody that if Gurudev goes to speak more than what the doctors have recommended, he has given me the authority, so you all also can stop him. Others who can get up and say, time out. First of all, he kept to his time. But, time out, because people were asking questions, and question answer sessions, you'll see, they won't allow me to stop. So, like that, question answers would sometimes go on, not in the hall, but, at home. So, anyway, we had said, Gurudev, 1 hour, you are speaking on the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Those of you are familiar. It's the highest knowledge and the highest love also. So, he was speaking on that on the first day. The time allotted was 1.5 hours, but he was supposed to speak for 1 hour. He went 1 hour, 5-6 minutes. So one of the old devotees who was also board member, I told him, I'm not going to get up in the audience as a young Swami and tell him, Gurudev, stop. So I told him, you can tell him to stop. Though I know he's very much aware of the time, he would not speak more 1 minute than the allotted time. It's very much aware of the time. So I said, so he kept on doing like this, like this, like this, like this, like this. You think Gurudev would stop? He just look on the other direction and he would crack a joke and go on. So he spoke about 5 minutes extra. Next day, we told Gurudev, please don't speak. And he had told me I can stop him, so even though I wouldn't tell him, but he knows that we are worried about his health. He understands our love. Next day, he went on for 1 hour, 15 minutes. Yeah. Now this trustee was very, very upset. He said, he's been with Gurudev since he was a youngster, so, Gurudev is considered as like his younger brother. So he said, Swamiji, this is not right. I was dangling my watch. Don't tell me you did not see it. Now tomorrow, if you don't stop, I'm going to drop. And of course, he was wearing one of those very expensive watches. So he said, I'm going to drop this watch. And I looked, there was no carpet. I'm going to drop this watch. And that day, Gurudev was speaking about the highest knowledge. Neither they are in me nor I am in them. Not that we wanted him to stop, but he went on for almost 1 hour, 25 minutes. We got very anxious. He even dropped that solid watch. Fell with a thud. But he did not stop. Not because he liked speaking. And when we got into the lift, 1 hour, 25 minutes, his heart And we know when he reached home how it was. So he was very, very upset, and he said, I dropped my watch. You didn't care for my expensive watch, but we cared for your health. And he was out of love only anxious. I was also, worried now how it will react on his heart. So he looks at me and he says, they will not understand. You know where I was taking everybody's mind. If I stopped earlier, next day, how difficult or how much time it will take to get their mind attuned to that level. Because people come late, one day they come, one day they don't come. Whether people were interested or not, he was here for making us see the reality. And for that, even if he collapsed on the stage, he did not worry. This was his sevā to us.
Hello.
Yes, it's working, it's working.
I have always had this dilemma. I'm a born Jain,
Yes.
and I attend a lot of Jain lectures, Swami, sadhus. And Jain religion is strongly mentioning as the first principle, ahimsa. Ahimsa paramo dharma. So is Mahatma Gandhi. And it has always been a dilemma in my mind. At what stage you make an exception to that?
What for?
What stage in life when you practice ahimsa versus Hindu Vedic religion, and Bhagavad Gita is a perfect example. Krishna tells Arjuna to pick it down. Okay, he's not promoting him to do violence intentionally, in my opinion, or aggressively, but because there is injustice all around. What does Hindu religion strongly believe compared to Jain religion when it comes to hinsa and ahimsa?
See, the word ahimsa has been completely misunderstood, misinterpreted. Yeah? Now tell me, I'm asking you this question, I'm asking blatantly. A criminal comes to your house. A criminal. Yeah. Comes to your house. Yeah? God wish nobody does anything. Yeah? Should I use strong words? Is about to rape your woman. Yeah? Has got guns and weapons to torture your children. No? And you sit there, I am Jain. It's okay when somebody's daughter is being raped. Yeah? It's okay when every Hindu in Kashmir is being slaughtered and sent out. Yeah? Is it okay that the monastery, lamas, are tortured and sent out from their country? Yeah? Tell me. Right? A soldier's job is to protect his country, and violence stops with violence only. Yeah? So, please don't misinterpret. For a spiritual student, for a monk, if somebody comes to
Thank you very much. So the dilemma
at every stage of our life, we have to keep elevating ourselves, right? Now, why does anybody does any profession or business? When you start off, it's only for your survival, your needs, then for your desires, then for your luxuries, then for your security, that you're going to die, but I'm being very, that at least till I die, I must have sufficient money. And then my 10 generations should have that money. And those 10 generations, in 10 days of your first generation, will finish off your money. Easy come, easy go. No? So, first of all, what are you doing your business or profession for? Now, some will say even that I don't need the money, but if I sit at home and by that age, that wife who complained all her life that you didn't have time for her, now that you say that I'm going to give up business and come home, she's terrorized. Yeah, she doesn't want you home. So for that you may have to continue working, otherwise you don't know what you'll do with yourself. Yeah. But here may I tell you one thing. Work in the beginning, and that's what we all really, even education is not for, I met one young professor from one of the big universities here, whose father was a professor there. He said, my father used to say, people used to come to university not for job. My father said, if you want a job, go develop skills. It is only to expand your knowledge you come to universities, not for jobs. But what have we made our university? A labor camp. That's what they're all becoming. It's only for an income. So the whole life is that you have to earn money, right? Earn money as much as you can, and afterwards when you don't need it for yourself and you still have the capacity, produce to give back to the world. You'll have a greater sense of purpose. So, to produce. There also depends about your health, etc. But don't just retire because you don't need money, and then go waste that money on cruises. Somebody else's wedding. There's so much more to life. Whether it's a spiritual pursuit, whether it is, things that earlier you had to work, you could not take risk in your job, you couldn't do things that you could have invented, produced, the risk that you could take. There's so much more you can do where you can make even the last stages of your life meaningful, but not just for personal gain or profit. If all that you know is to make money, then give it. But make sure that you give it and don't get tempted to keep even 1 penny from it. Give it. And when it is not necessary, let the world fend for itself. This is where, if you really seek your spiritual pursuit, do it. Or other interests, but keep yourself busy. Idle mind, not only a devil's workshop, but as you can see these days, Alzheimer's, dementia, all this creeping in. Keep your mind active, and keep your mind active in the service of the people. Because if you're only working for yourself, again your mind is going to be very small. And therefore, if you see, our Hindu way of living was brahmacharya, student life, gain knowledge, Then you had grahastha, means family life, not that necessarily you get married, but family life, that you earn your income, fulfill your desires in a dharmic manner, serve the world accordingly also, but there is mutual give and take. Family members, community, society, etc. But when you come to that stage where you don't need anything more yourself, your family has been well settled and they can manage on their own. There's no end to how much you can give to your children, right? But they are made self-sufficient that they can proudly. And I'm very happy to say that some children in this country will say, Dad, Mom, go do anything with your wealth. We don't need your wealth. You gave us the education. You have given us the means. No? Now we will look for ourselves. You go do with your wealth what you want to give. Whether you want to give, no, for a good cause, give. And that's a good thing. Now, whatever you do it as much as you can, with all enthusiasm, to serve the world. That's called as vanaprastha. Most people think vanaprastha is go stay in an ashram and become dependent on others. Yeah? That is not vanaprastha. Vanaprastha, whether it's your knowledge, whether it's your time, whether it's your energy, whether it's your expertise, now you do it only exclusively for service. If you can go and serve there, go and serve. But do something with your life. Unless you can sit in meditation, but don't bluff yourself. Yeah? Okay. Last question.
Swami, thanks so much for your talk. One question I have is, we hear the word Atman a lot. I was wondering if you could define and explain what precisely Atman is?
Atman means self. But do we really know ourselves? Yeah? So your true self means yourself unconditioned by your notions of body, mind, intellect is called as Atma. The self, you. At this moment you are son of your father, brother of someone, friend of someone. These are all relations that we make. Who are you without any of these relationships? Huh? So the scriptures are talking about you. And that is the Atma, the self. But without any of these conditionings. Once you know yourself without these conditionings, then it is your choice what relationship you keep with the world. But the beauty of the scriptures is that there is only one self appearing as many. And therefore, service of others is not of others. Service of the people is the service of the Supreme Self, as we hear in our mission pledge. Now you know the depth of the meaning of that. Okay? But the whole scriptures are to point out to you that Atma is Brahman and Brahman is the self of everyone. Okay? Now before concluding, we still have 5 minutes. As you know that we are now almost in the completion of our center in New York, that is Long Island, Chinmaya Upavanam. Yeah? And as some of you are present here wondering what you can do with your life, or there'll be plenty of opportunities to learn, to grow personally, and at the same time, if each one of you can dedicate some of your time in serving, in whichever capacity you can, then we can reach out and serve a lot more people. So you know, Our Jatin Bhai is here, our Jagdish Bhai is here, we have our Brahmacharni Shubhani. Get in touch and see how you can serve. In whichever way. It's not always with money, but if you have wealth also, they still have a loan of 2 million. If you can serve, it'll be wonderful. Yeah, but no compulsion on anybody. But if you give your time, you give your service, you give your expertise, don't impose it. Request, I'm available, whatever service is there, you can give. Next year is the 75th year of Chinmaya Mission. Many of you over the years, some of you have met Gurudev, others have benefited, your children, your youth have benefited. Now, it's the 75th year of Chinmaya Mission, so that to the next quarter, the generations that are going to come will benefit from what you have benefited and what the world have benefited, so that we can leave a legacy behind. We'll have number of functions for people to know about Chinmaya Mission, something that will benefit them also, as well as more and more people, when they know of the services that Chinmaya Mission does, comes to know all of you sevaks and get inspired, will be able to assist in many, many areas of people's development. Chinmaya Mission does seva from the most rural villages through self-help groups, and people talk about empowering women in India. Please come to India, they'll teach all. That women in India don't need empowerment. They're a powerhouse on their own. Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm not joking. Yeah. They'll put all of you to shame, all of you CEOs to shame. Look at the work that they are doing for the villagers. Village women for the villagers. So it's amazing, and therefore even in USA, our main service is that we encourage people with this knowledge, and with this knowledge only there can be love and readiness to serve. That is our main thing, which no one else does it the way Chinmaya Mission does. Then many opportunities of seva we have to find also. Now we have started COD in USA, and USA is not rural. But still there are areas where people are it's not just going and feeding, but making them know their problems and connecting them with sources by which, and supporting them by which they can become self-sufficient. So even COD USA has started, for some, each one has got their own, inclination to help even the elderly, to have also work. And again, there also I will say the women are the pioneers. I don't know what men do. Yeah, but women are the pioneers. Even I was just now meeting them in Ann Arbor. So there's so much that Chinmaya Mission does in every field, even in the field of education, and now with our university, which is to revive Indian knowledge systems and sciences and integrate it with contemporary knowledge. So there are so many projects that are going on. So we'll have some big functions for reach out and people awareness, but we'll require a lot of volunteers, whether internationally, locally, to do seva. Even if you commit for say 1 year or 6 months, with your expertise, whether in IT, whether in publicity, whether in giving your time, all these things. So you can always come forward and contact your local center, and if you want to do also internationally, they can assist you in connecting with these sources. There's one seva which is very, very simple, which all of us take up. I remember when one of the presidents here went to one of the top universities and asked the youth to come and do their invocation. Everybody came up on stage, not one Hindu. There was a survey done. Everybody talks, we have Gita, our scripture is the Gita. Ask anyone to chant one verse of the Gita. Except our Balviyar children and others, they don't know, which is just a fraction. Therefore, we are thinking of starting a campaign. Actually, every Bharatiya, I'm telling you, in India, even people from different religions come and do our Gita chanting competition because they know how useful it is. Sometimes they're just afraid of their own, religious, pushbacks. But otherwise, they all know what the beauty and greatness of the Gita is. So we have selected 5 verses. We request all of you to memorize these 5 verses, which will come onto the website. So do go to our chinmayamission.com. We are there on every social media platform, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. And all these places you will have the QR code. Even here you'll have the QR code. That if you can learn 5 verses, many of you already know, I know, those who are regular. 5 verses of Bhagavad Gita, and make sure this is not a one-time thing. You teach your children, you teach your grandchildren, you teach them to teach their children, so that once we are familiar with even one verse of the Bhagavad Gita, we won't be afraid and we can proudly say that we know. Yeah? So at least every Hindu should know 5 verses of the Bhagavad Gita. And we have chosen, Guruji and I have chosen together 5 verses of the Bhagavad Gita which covers the entire theme. 3, what we have to do. 2, what God and universe will do for you if you live like this. But even if we know how to chant it, we will come to know what is the meaning of it. At least this sevā would be good if you do. The 5 verses, one is first, not in order of chapters, but from the 6th chapter, very famous, very motivational, and particularly for every youth, we make them remember this verse. Uddhared atmanatmanam na atmanam avasadayet atmaiva yatmano bandhu atmaiva ripuratmana. Lift yourself by yourself. Do not underestimate yourself. You are your best friend, you are your deadliest enemy. Now can you imagine every youth equipped with this? What does it? Second, karmanyevadikaraste. Third, how do you do it? That whatever you do it for the highest. Do it for the supreme. Yat karoshi, yad ashnasi, yad juhosi, dadasiyat. Fourth, how to be free of all tension and anxieties. We say a gratitude journal. But if we keep our mind constantly remembering what we have got, we'll realize we are continuously getting. Ananyas chintayanto mam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. And the last verse of the Bhagavad Gita, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyaha mokshayishami ma suchaha. Don't say it is difficult. If you can learn French songs, Spanish songs, Jack and Jill went up the hill. Yeah. Sanskrit is not such a difficult language. In fact, once you start chanting, the very meter will make you sing it. No? So these 5 verses from the Bhagavad Gita, of course, they will be available also. We are going to be releasing this, as we may say, a campaign on Gita Jayanti in December. But since I'm here, I'm sharing with all of you. The big seva that you can do is, people might in the beginning laugh at you, but you get your neighborhood children, teach them the 5 verses. Yeah? In the schools, you encourage that children learn these 5 verses. Wherever in the schools they have spiritual classes, do that. In every organization that you belong to, no organization will bless. This is not, Gita doesn't belong to just Chinmaya Mission. No? Yeah? All these verses are relevant universally to everybody. Today, even yoga classes, people from any background and secondary, are already chanting Gita verses. Encourage these 5 verses to be chanted, and if we leave the world behind with maximum people chanting this 5 verses, you would have done great seva to Sanatan Dharma, great seva to the world, the great seva to the generations to come. Are you ready to do it? Yes. If I tell you to give even $5, it might be difficult. Yeah. But 5 verses, learn and spread.